We're gonna call the August Public Works meeting to order. It is August 20th, and it is 5:02, something like that.
Yeah, that's cool.
First up, we have Highway.
That'd be you. That's me. Tony always gets his in.
Tony. You go alphabetical?
No, we go who first come, first serve. Right? That's right. He gets it in a week ahead of time. Right.
You haven't been plowing roads, so.
Yeah,
That's right. That's right. We have been mowing roads, so.
I bet.
Continuing to do our dry blast and our hot mix patching. Typical roadside sign maintenance, equipment maintenance, bridge repairs and maintenance. Some storm damage, cleanup and repairs, addressing site distance issues. And we completed 100.85 miles of marking on county roads and 24.47 miles of pavement marking on town and city roads for a total of 125.32 miles of pavement marking. Personnel update.
Does that catch us up to where we should be?
No, that's just our first round.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll do our second round after we get more of our paving done.
Paving done.
Yeah. Yeah, we did complete, not on here because we just completed it today or yesterday with the chip sealing on County Route 46.
Yeah, I saw that. I didn't go up there at all. Right in time for them to close 9J, so.
Yeah. Yeah. Personnel, my administrative assistant has transferred to another county department, so that's been fun. Two MEOs have resigned. We got one employee out on workers' comp, and our auto mechanic has resigned and take a position with facilities.
Oh,
Is that his head down?
Yeah, he should have.
Tony's gonna start smashing tires with these people.
I noticed Brian was ducking back there a little bit too, so.
Do they not know I'm Italian and I got connections?
Yeah.
Throw some 10-penny nails in the parking lot.
No new business, and I have 7 resolution requests here.
Thanks, Tony.
I'm sorry.
You know what position
I'm
you
so
are.
sorry.
I knew we'd catch up from last month.
Yeah, I know. I had a good month last month. First one is authorization to fill the budgeted position of administrative
I'll move
assistant.
that.
Second.
Motion is second, all in favor?
Second is authorization to fill one vacant budgeted position of motor equipment operator 1.
Move it.
Second.
Motion in a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Number 3 is authorization to fill one vacant budgeted position of motor equipment operator 2. Highway department.
Move it.
Second.
Motion in a second, all in favor?
All right. Next one is to abolish one vacant budgeted position of MEO 2 at the 2025-13A base salary of $55,174 and create and fill one position of motor equipment operator 1 in the highway department at the 12B base salary of $52,144. So that would be a savings.
Move it.
3,000.
I'll second.
Motion second,
Yeah,
all in
I was just
favor?
thinking.
Aye.
It was just the MEO two. You don't have enough equipment to put them on.
I discussed it in the point 1 meeting back in, was it 2020 when we started getting rid of the state run.
Right,
We also, at the same time with COVID, had a lot of openings and they were all motor 1s. And we got rid of the state run. We ended up abolishing 10 positions, most of which were motor 1s, which left like a little top heavy with motor 2s and seniors.
Yeah.
And I'm finding that we kind of want to start backfilling some of the motor 1s. We don't need as many motor 2s. Motor 2s get a little crankier and they have to slide all day long. Motor 1s.
Prima donna.
Oh,
can you imagine?
yeah.
It saves $3,000.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Did you catch up with point 1 and get things straightened out so you're backfilling?
Yeah, I believe that
Talked
that
about that last
MEO
month.
2, yeah, the
Okay.
MEO 2 had a backfill.
Backfill,
So it'll be like the following month. I think it was November we had a date for.
Yeah.
All right, good.
And I think I had the backfill in the actual resolution request itself. I went back and.
Okay.
That's already that one. One through.
Yeah.
Okay.
Next one is authorization to create and fill our 6 seasonal labor positions.
Move it.
Second.
Motion second, all in favor? Aye.
Authorization to fill one vacant budgeted position of auto mechanic in the highway department.
Move it.
Second. Motion second, all in favor?
And the last one is authorization to purchase a 2025 Volvo EWR 150 wheeled excavator from Alta Construction Equipment off of Sourcewell, and it costs not to exceed
Always saves the
$180,000.
best for last.
Did you go electric?
What's that?
Did you go electric?
No.
When I Googled that, the first thing that came up was a German engineer demoing electric.
Oh,
Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
No, we didn't go electric, but the one that we demoed is, everybody was pretty happy
It's
with.
better than the
It's
JCD.
better than the JCB, and we got, I forget what the trade-in was on the JCB, we got, I think it was like 89 or 90 grand on the JCB and the trade-in, so. Again, that's, every time that thing left the yard, it was breaking
I
down.
thought that was a
Great-
market tool when we
It was
bought
a
it.
great machine and
Yeah.
concept, it just
Yeah.
wasn't equipped to do, run the attachments that we
Yeah.
got with it, so it was too bad.
But are the attachments proprietary or?
We traded in the attachments as well, with the exception of, I think we kept the grapple. That's supposed to be,
Universal?
yeah.
And I was so impressed when I saw that demo, I was gonna buy one for the town, and
Yeah,
I
well-
never heard nothing but troubles with it.
We
Well,
had it-
I asked you about it. I said, hey, I just saw this thing on the road. And Ron's like, nah, I wouldn't go there.
Yeah, and we brought
Seemed
it
like a great thing though.
up to the Ghent Equipment Show that year, and
Yep.
everybody loved it, and as soon as although, when they unloaded it off the truck, it wasn't working
It broke.
the way it was supposed to
Yeah.
that day,
Should have known.
At the demo wasn't working.
Right.
The JCB, no, when we got it delivered, brand new.
I'll second.
So I have a motion and a second, all in favor on the, new equipment.
That's it.
Thank you.
Good to see county equipment at the Touch and Truck fundraiser for the
Yeah, that's
PT.
the second year in a row we did that, yeah.
Well, good.
Yeah, we do that one, we've been doing that one, and we've been doing the one that the fireman's home does every year, the big truck day.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Well,
You want all the social stuff too?
yeah.
You can have.
Oh, yeah.
Kids.
Yeah, that one, we've been getting our low boy over with the loader on it and.
Nice.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Any other questions for Tony? Hope you'll keep the snow away for a while yet. You know,
I'm working on it.
we're enjoying fall, you know?
Yes, yes.
All right, next up, we have engineering.
Hi, Ray.
Good evening,
I know.
everyone.
I don't want to get him excited, you know?
So starting off with our bridge projects, County Route 7 over the Rojan. So this is down in Gallatin. Contractors currently working on the footings and stem walls, forming those up and installing rebar. The three-sided precast culvert structure has been stored and it's waiting for delivery. So it's sitting in the yard at LHB, excuse me. And DOT has already conducted their inspection of the structure and found it to be acceptable. Mill Hill Road, temporary bridge installation is complete. Contractors in the process of removing the existing bridge structure and all that steel. We are expecting a September delivery date as far as our steel structure as well as the bearing pads as well. Which we're very happy because last year there was nothing but issues with every bridge structure associated with bearing pads that just weren't available. So we're in good shape as far as the overall project schedule there. We're starting up or have just started up a new project, County Route 7 over the Punza Creek. And this is a Bridge New York project. Construction on that started on Monday. All the detour signs are in, the road was closed, and they started putting in their erosion control, waited till this storm passed, and then they'll start working in the stream itself. We got pretty lucky with this because, as it turns out, the precaster had a slot open because somebody else had postponed their project, and this contractor was able to get that slot. So all in all, it looks like we'll be able to complete this project before the end of fall and before the winter sets in. We've also, while we're on County Route 7, the bridge just north of the one being replaced, we just had borings done at that particular one. That's also another Bridge New York project that just started in the design process, but we're working on that one as well. That's the one that has the 22-ton limit on it. That was new for 2024. Currently working on a design for a slope failure. Excuse me, that's down on County Route 7, down just to the west of the County Route 7 precast structure. that's being worked on down in Gallatin. There's a small spring that's in that area, so we're going to be working with Colorado as far as an overall repair, since they're adjacent to the site. We're also trying to close up Fish and Game Road. I just got some final paperwork. Costs all came in, and so the final reimbursement, if all goes well, will actually be done this month. Well, excuse me, September. My
We
apologies.
just got it and everything.
Correct. Yeah, we've already completed that. 911 call center, general contractors, preparing the communication room by installing, has done the trench duct. We're awaiting the materials for that. That's got a pretty long lead time, anywhere between 6 to 8 weeks. The majority of the electrical panels and the HVAC units have been installed. General contractors working on the sound absorbing ceiling panel, as well as the VCT in the server room. Contractors indicated that there is a delay on the wall panels, so those will be delivered second week of October. All in all, based on the delay in materials, it looks like we'll have to push back the completion to the end of October. One of the things, again, the VCT going into the server room, if we get that done by next week, it's anticipated that that will be available for 911 and their vendors to be able to get into that server room to start installing the server racks and cable trays and things of that nature. So it's not as though everything will be coming to a standstill.
I was gonna bring up that we should have did a quick tour of that when we were all there. Did you guys get a look at that when you were there for the budget meeting and all? Get into that? Should have gave them a quick tour. I thought about that when we were there and then we all got done that day and we left.
Yeah, anytime anybody wants to take
Yeah.
a walk out there, just let me know and we'll.
There's some nice work that went into that. And when, when we looked at the construction costs of that and you saw what it was per square foot, but when you see all the workmanship that went into it to do it at the safety protocols that they had to do, it's pretty impressive.
Yeah, and the duplicity of systems and everything else that goes into it. We're also working with the site contractor. He hopes to be completed by the end of next week, which would allow paving to take place the first week of September. And then that entire fence line can get pushed back for
Wendy's event.
fire training as well, fire training for additional
Yeah.
parking. And then the hazardous household waste on the
Right.
13th. Yep. So we were aware of that and we're working towards making room and making that space available. 11 Warren, notice of bids were distributed to the contractors. The RFP for the facade has also been published. Those are due September 4th. I also distributed some to several architects that had expressed interest. Also happy to say that the New York State ILS has issued the full reimbursement check in the amount of $788,308 for the pre-purchased materials associated with that project. So that has to do with cubicles. Some of
That's
the
all
carpeting.
specific to the defender's office, right?
Yeah.
Correct, yeah, correct. Yep, with the exception of some of the design services, they were actually willing to cover a good portion of those.
DJ's a little happy,
Yeah,
You get them the,
anytime we get money coming in.
Nice check, yeah.
So I'm looking to see if I can get contracts signed and get a pre-construction meeting the first week of September. The general contractor has indicated that he would like to mobilize September 8th and start
Okay.
demolition as soon as September 15th.
The 401.
no, 11.
Jumping ahead to the next one, aren't I?
We'd like to go there.
So
I'm telling you, yesterday I was standing out back looking up.
So that's leading into the next item.
Yeah.
It's like scary, isn't it?
Yeah, so 401, we met with Centrica regarding a energy efficiency project that included the replacement of all the exterior doors and windows, new HVAC system, new roof, reconstruction of the parapet. One of the issues that we ran into is once we get into a new HVAC system, then we're talking also a new electrical service into the building, which also requires new transformers for the building as well. Long story short, looking at the price tag from Centrica, it's $6.5 million, okay? And that's for a partial renovation to this particular building as pertains to energy improvements. That still does not take care of some of the older items that were discussed back in 2021 timeframe, I believe.
With the elevator?
With the elevator, ADA accessibility and so forth. So I'm in the process of getting some of that older information, getting that together. I plan on coming back to committee in September to provide a better understanding of the complete associated with the renovation of this project. So that way the committee and the board of supervisors can make an informed decision of whether they want to make that type of investment or look at other options.
Do we have a value of this building?
Yes, we do.
You have it appraisal.
I'll bring that to that meeting so that way we have it.
And I saw yesterday, we had just gotten the asbestos report for this from Alpine too, and you would ask for some cost updates for what that might be.
Correct.
That's above and beyond the Centrica contract.
The 6.5 in the Centrica contract, correct. Options.
What were another option?
So this is just me talking, not anyone else. I think some of the options that the county should consider is to see if the adjacent parcel, let me get my bearings that way. There's a vacant parcel that Galvin owns that he's currently storing some materials, some building materials on. The county should consider seeing if it can purchase that and then seeing if there's an opportunity of building a new building to replace this building. But that way you're staying in Hudson. Another item would then potentially, or another option, my apologies, would be if the supervisors recall, we did purchase that piece of land out towards the Commerce Park. The IDA, my apologies, you're absolutely correct, the IDA. And again, at the time, it was discussion of looking at putting the Office of the Aging out there, as well as other departments, including the Philmont Kitchen. Maybe there's an opportunity of revisiting that. Because when you're looking at the order of magnitude of making a very significant investment in this building, knowing that this building is well over 100 years old and quite honestly doesn't have great bones, we need to make a decision as a county. And the problem is that we need to really look at what the best long-term solution would be. And unfortunately, we need to make a decision because within 5 years, the heating system within this building has been really problematic. Again, it's an old steam system. The pipes are in pretty bad shape, and we've been putting Band-Aids on them year after year after year. So, a decision has to be made. But in order for the Board of Supervisors to make an informed decision, I want to be able to provide at least what the total cost would be. And then we can explore what the options and dig a little deeper into those potential options. Part of that, again, keep in mind, if the county does have a flavor to move out of the city, then there's one issue where it's the clerk of the Board of Supervisors, and the Board of Supervisors, there needs to be, I believe, a referendum vote associated with that. But in any event.
Did we have no commitment to Centrica on this building right now?
No, so what we did on this study was we paid for this up front with some grant money that Don had found. And we wanted a menu list of what we could do. And, our idea was, do you want to do windows? Do you want to do a heating system? But, I think the list that Centrica put together, the building needs all of it. It's a very nice, they did a very nice detailed job of designing a new HVAC system, electrical, and got some real numbers so that we have some real data. But now, as Ray says, we have to make a choice. Centrica will share with us eventually what they've done, and but no, we have to pay them for what they're doing, but
Right, but we haven't
like
made
it's part of.
right, but we haven't made a long-term commitment as far as implementing the 6.5 million.
Yeah.
And again, it could be done as a phased project.
Right.
It doesn't all have to be done at one time. But again, I think it's important to understand what the end goal is, as well as the price tag associated with that before moving forward.
Is what we're doing is not window dressing, but it doesn't deal with the roof problems and the accessibility and.
So we're trying to bring all that together for next month.
And again, when you start looking at those type of items and that type of price tag, it's also the supporting systems as far as fire alarm,
Right.
potential sprinkler system, the exits, the electrical, it's everything, yes.
Probably a multiplier or two after
And you've
that
got-
2021 estimate.
Chippo approval and asbestos removal, and there's.
Yeah, I think I believe when we were looking at some of the older numbers, just talking with Centrica, I think when they came in 2021 or 2022, I forgot exactly when that time frame was that they came in for this particular building, the energy improvement portion was sitting just above 3 million at the time. So again, to your point,
It's not
if you're-
cheaper now.
yeah, if you're looking at what that increase is gonna be, you're probably talking about that one at a minimum. But I'll get those numbers together and I'll get the overall, I think I think it was in 2019 that there was an appraisal done on this particular
Yeah.
one.
And then is there an appraisal on the property across the street as well? Do we have a value for this?
I can get a value for it.
Just a
We don't, yeah,
market
it would just be the market value. I don't have an appraisal for that.
And you
That's
gotta,
just
you gotta
the-
keep in mind, we're not talking about the parking lot here. That the city owns
Right.
that and they're gonna put a building on that pretty soon. So we're gonna lose that parking.
Yeah, go up the grass lot, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
Is it for sale? Yeah.
I mean, you'd have to go up, right?
Yeah, so my opinion, there would be a few things. I think you would build a building there. I think you would elevate the building so you could actually have parking underneath it, okay? And I also think that you would then put where the existing parking lot is.
Yeah.
Put a building there and connect the two.
Gotcha.
And then,
Because we had
and then
talked
demo
about
that.
connecting
Correct,
when this lot was.
correct.
So this would be a demo, not a sale.
I would foresee this as being a demo because of parking. Yes, the need for parking.
If you stayed here, but, you know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
If we moved
And
out,
that's
we could
just-
sell it,
that's-
you know, but,
Strictly conceptual. Just-
okay.
Just trial
He
balloon.
said demo.
Yeah, if you stayed, I mean, if you stayed in the
If
city.
If you stayed in the
Yes.
Hudson.
Right, yes, I'm sorry.
I didn't see.
Not stayed in the building, no.
County courthouse, contractor continues to, work on the installation of the new system. There's been quite a bit of court activity taking place, so, he hasn't been able to get in and do all the work as quickly as we were hoping. So, but we do anticipate within the next week or so, he should get that tied up. Airport, the new LED lighting, system has been complete. A couple little items, they're they're being placed, around the existing, or excuse me, the new LED lights. And that's to stop any type of growth as far as, grass from growing around it. And by doing so, it's less likely that anybody will hit those as they're doing the mowing operation. So it makes their mowing operation a little easier. And those are actually being funded by FAA as well. So we're interested to see how well those work, because if they work well, then we may want to try to implement those onto the main runway as well, as far as those lights,
As opposed to the state DOT's new technique
which
of
is,
having glyphosate in a cannon.
yes, correct. Correct. Yes. So that work's gonna be done, tomorrow and Friday, and, that should be wrapped up at that point. We're also, the engineering department's been working with, the planning consultants regarding the future vision of the airport. So we've kicked around a few ideas. And I wanted to do that so that way I can work with them to create a plan to then present to the subcommittee. And then that way the subcommittee can critique that and make any changes that they would like to implement. One of the things that we're trying to look at in depth is the use of EV vehicles as far as aviation and how that would play into our facility. Because again, they don't need a runway. They need a pad for landing, but they don't need a runway. So we've got some ideas on where we can implement that. And the other item, more importantly, would be looking at potential lease areas for future development that would allow a developer to come in and actually build corporate hangars, because there's quite a demand for corporate hangars within the entire Hudson Valley. Water Sewer District met with representatives of the FAA regarding the water tank height and location. They have indicated that the proposed site is acceptable without restrictions, with the exception of just putting lighting on it at this point. And as a matter of fact, they actually wanted us to raise it by about 5 feet to create a better navigation aid to general aviation pilots, because they'll be able to see those lights better than the actual beacon that's on the airport grounds.
I would have thought they wanted it lower, but.
And that's what I,
Well, is it too late? Because it gives you more capacity.
it gives me capacity, it gives me, and it also gave me pressure. So I'm right where I need to be as far as the sweet spot.
Yeah.
Yep.
Resolution. Oh, one other item, just, for those that weren't able to make it, we did present our budgets as far as budget committee. So, I think that was a good discussion that took place. For those that look into the information, capital project wise, we've got about 25 capital projects, that are spanning over 5 to 6 years. So quite a bit of work is going to be done, at the expense of about $70 million. About 50 million of that is being funded through federal and state aid. So, just wanted to put that into context when you start looking at that budget, specifically the capital projects. We're
Getting a lot of work done, yeah.
we're getting quite a bit of work done, and we're
And
getting
it's
quite a
work
bit
that
of.
has to be done. It's not optional. Right.
Exactly.
But as far as our equipment purchases, if we're dedicating, I know it's a small portion of the overall sum, but if we're dedicating 2 vehicles for the next 5 years for highway, is there any way we can negotiate that for any kind of, incentivized reduction? I mean, can we work with a vendor to say we're gonna dedicate 2 vehicles purchasing the next 5 years?
Not really, because again, everything is off,
Fluctuating
everything is off of the state bid, so you still
Right.
have to do the procurement.
Yeah.
And again, the way we've been purchasing those are through state bids, so you never know if the vendor is going to get it from year to year.
It's a good
I like the
strategy,
We can talk to Jim Bragg and see if he's okay with us not following. the-
Yeah, right.
You get a better deal by all 10 at one time.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't want to.
Yeah, just defer delivery.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Years.
don't want to do that. 4 resolutions request. First is for a sewer pump mixer, for 2 pump stations. And that's to deal with some of, the grease issues that we have there. They've not been too problematic, but this actually will help reduce some of the maintenance that we're doing.
It's budgeted, I'll move it.
Yeah, it is budgeted.
Second.
Got a motion and a second, all in favor?
Next is for, approval for the AWAS design with our airport consultant. Again, this is a project that was just awarded last month, funding through the FAA through the bipartisan infrastructure.
I'll move it.
95% funded, right?
It is 95% funded, correct.
Second.
Got a motion and a second, all in favor?
Similarly, again, another professional services contract with Passero for the design of the parking lot and drainage system out at the airport, again, through bill funding, and again, 95% funded through the Fed.
Move it.
Motion and a second, all in favor?
Lastly is the courthouse charger.
Oops. I didn't get scanned.
Oh, didn't I?
Why did that not get scanned? It skipped a page.
Was that mine?
I'm sure.
Probably on my end. So if the committee recalls, we had entered into a contract with Linkwell, which was formerly Livingston Energy, to install EV chargers throughout several locations in the county. One of the locations was the courthouse facility. And when we were working with National Grid, there was quite a bit of tree work that was going to be required, as well as easements to go overhead for a new service to serve those chargers. We looked at 3 different options, and we looked at the electrical supply and electrical demand at the courthouse itself, and we can actually obtain power from the existing power panel within the courthouse. And we still receive funding through NYSERDA as well as National Grid to offset some of those costs. However, because it's going underground, it is a little more expensive. And so the price increases by approximately $2,000. However, that $2,000 cost will be offset by NYSERDA. So NYSERDA will cover the increase. But it is a change, so I wanted to make sure that I obtained approval. So the new cost is going to be $19,000 for that installation. And again, that $19,000 will be covered by NYSERDA.
Move it.
Second.
Motion and a second, all in favor? Ray, I know that there was a lot of local concern on that project, so thank you for working through that.
The trees are not going to be affected. No, we trimmed the trees back on the county grounds because some of them were in pretty bad shape, but that was done. And then nothing along Allen Street or
Sounds good.
Prospect, I think is the next one over.
Allen and Union.
No, we were never going out to Union. We were just going to partition. Partition was the other option.
But I think Rich Vogel was under the impression that it's gonna be at the dog park. But these guys are, all right.
Yeah, and so I had relayed this information onto the City of Hudson supervisor for
Mhm.
that
Yep.
award, as well as some of the residents
Good.
that had expressed
No,
concern. So
thank
they
you for
were,
your
they
work
were,
on that.
they were very happy.
So what supervisor did you tell?
I told Supervisor Mussman,
Martin,
as well as Supervisor
Martin.
Martin.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Any other questions for Mr. Chakowski?
I'm just curious, how many city officials are aware of your predicament with the building and everything? I know you're looking at things,
With 401, we haven't had that discussion yet. I mean,
it's internal stuff.
yeah,
Gotcha.
but that is a discussion to be had someday in time if we were to consider doing something different. You know.
Completely.
Okay, facilities is up next.
But this is the guy that holds it all together, so we don't worry about
That's right. Yeah,
it.
yeah. He's got a roll of Band-Aids, so.
I'm the one that gets to sit underneath that wall up there leaving.
Right.
I have to take one for the team, I guess.
Brian's got a resolution to move out the highway though, so. Time we were gonna build an addition on that building and move facilities out there, and
Yeah,
I
I
still
know,
think that's a good idea, but, anyway, on to,
Someday, you never know.
right.
All right, let's see here. Work schedule, 325, we had a couple of jobs down there. I had to put a new window in the mental health door so they could, see out. Had to put a new slab in for the new Narcan vending machine. Currently, we're working on the electric now for it. OFA, we had to put another concrete pad for the freezer that was there for the compressor. So, and then put a new disconnect, or put the old disconnect on the freezer for them. Let's see here, courthouse, wrapped up finishing, painting the gazebo. Fire training, new outlet in the charging trailer and equipment. Airport, we're out there, you know, while the taxiway was shut down, we were out there filling the cracks in. And then currently, like I said, we're in the process of working on a generator for, the Valatia Tower site. So this way they have generator backup for 911 out in that area. And at the new site, we're currently running, we ran some of the data and camera cables, and now we're working on the door system, running the wires for that. So, a couple of resolutions.
Did you start doing anything with cameras at 11 Orange Street too? I know there was conversation on that. Can we?
So I've been having those discussions with Chris about getting
Okay.
a vendor down there to get those installed.
Right.
And then we would have, facilities just run. You know,
I knew some of that was us. I just didn't know where.
Yeah, so we are moving
But
forward.
that's one of the things we did. We already bought the cameras, right?
That is correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're under contract and we already purchased the cameras.
Thank you.
Yeah, this is to authorization to renew the chemical dispenser rental and cleaning, you know, that we have throughout our buildings. So this way it cuts back on all the products we have to buy.
Motion and second, all in favor?
Yeah, we're just seeking authorization to seal and strike the parking lots at 325 and DSS. You know, 325 has never been done, so what to do in DSS, I think, that was in 18 or 19, so we're gonna try to protect our investments now.
Motion and second, all in favor? Yep.
If we ever get the sign, the exterior sign for 325.
Yes,
Big
yeah,
number.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Yeah, when you go down Columbia now, you can
You
see it.
can really
from-
see it, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just thinking with your Narcan machine there, it'd be nice to have a sign.
Yeah.
Last one just is the auction of surplus snow blower attachment. Back from 2011. Has a faulty gearbox, so.
Motion and second, all in favor?
I love how they make
These things look like such a sad sack. I feel sorry for the equipment. Go on, little buddy.
Yeah,
I'm
no.
gonna be home.
Yeah, we got good years out of it though. All I got.
Questions for Brian while he's here? How many Band-Aids does the steam system need, right?
Yeah, that's the big concern. It's not so much the steam system, it's the piping. That's.
Well, that's what I think.
Yeah.
And I guess, you know, to those of you that know, I mean, steam system, when you have a steam system in an old building like this, it's not just replacing a boiler, it's the entire system. And nobody would put a new steam system in today because they're so inefficient.
Hardest thing too is where they're at, you know?
Right.
You know, you gotta really look to, you know, and then find leaks on them. And it is.
So it's not just something that you could just say, well, let's just do this. If you started on that job, it's tear out the whole building.
Yep.
So, that's a challenge, but we've been keeping it going, so we'll see. All right, up next we have solid waste.
Highway.
Nothing wasted.
I think that's right.
You want this contract? Let's see, where's Wendy's stuff? Here we go.
So just a friendly reminder, household hazardous waste is Saturday, September 13th. It's less than a month away, 8 to 12, Columbia County Commerce Court. I have an excavator update for the resolution.
One that got burned on the ship.
tomorrow. Yes.
Oh,
So,
is that one that got sunk? It was on fire.
Yeah.
well, the excavator wasn't, I think something else on the barge caught
Like
fire.
tires.
So
Yeah,
EV
electric
vehicles,
fire,
yes.
fire.
So we went up, they have, a 75 version, which is comparable to the kind that we have now with case. Our initial resolution request that was approved was for an 85 case. We went up and looked at the 75 Hitachi equivalent, and it found out while we were there looking at it that they actually have the 85 equivalent at Marcy. So we didn't get to see that one because that was a little bit further away, but I had one of my senior MEOs come up that does run the equipment daily. So he got in the 75, ran it, moved it around because it's a Hitachi, we're used to case. It was nice, it's a lot heavier, but we were able to secure an 85, so it would be just updating the resolution from the one that was approved for the case to the Hitachi.
You don't want to buy a used JCB?
And it's, the Hitachi is significantly heavier than what we had to begin with. There's reinforcement on the arm and the booms already. And it has a
It's the same
2-year
money as what we
warranty,
had in
and
the
it was,
contract.
already budgeted. I spoke with Jim about it and he said, go for it.
So
So,
now all we have to do is reinforce the box trailers that it's stuffing, right?
Well, now we're gonna wreck them.
so, and it's in the yard. So the longest wait will be because the grapple has to be made. And that's a 4 to 5 week time frame. So if the resolution request today passes, then I can at least have them start.
So this resolution request is just changing the name.
It's
right?
just changing the, from case
Specs,
to.
They're both 85.
Yeah.
They're, all of that is about the same.
Okay.
Okay.
And whatever is spelling that right now is continuing to work.
Yes.
Yes.
Is there wood somewhere? Yes. I mean, we've had a few issues. We've had a few issues with it. I'm not gonna lie, over the last couple of weeks. We have it, it's operational. They're still babying it, but it is loading trailers
So we need one
to
to
the
quicker the
proper
better.
weight. So, 5 to 6 weeks for a grapple and we'll be good to go. So. School, I have to do a school, not that I have to, our local solid waste management plan, in that states that we should be doing surveys to institutions, school districts, a whole bunch of different things. So I put together a survey. It's a very generic survey. It's on Google Docs, Google Forms, so it's very easy. Basically, those are the questions. We're just asking if they're separating recyclables, what's being recycled if they are, who they contract with as far as refuse and recycling is, which is good for us because that's information that we need to know anyways. And this is supposed to help us be able to kind of collect data on how much the tonnage schools are actually producing on both recycling and garbage. if they're not recycling, try and figure out a way, for them to recycle as they're supposed to be. And it is in our, management plan, so I'm just trying to stay in compliance with that. And just kind of wanted to give you all a heads up that I'd like to send out a survey, but I just wanted to make sure there was no concern about that before doing so.
Sounds good. Do we know how many of them actually do food scrap?
I don't think any do, but I just wanted to ask because, I'm not 100, I will send this out to private and public in Columbia County, and I just kind of wanted to see what they were doing. I worked at the Chatham Middle School for a while, and we did do a little small compost program for a very, very, very short period of time. It was going to a pig farmer, and it was highly contaminated. And so we stopped doing that, but I was just curious to see if any of the other schools were doing anything like that.
Probably Lower Valley.
Yeah,
Yeah, she already dealt with that, right? It's the cleanest specimen.
yeah, yeah. And we're also working on generic recycling protocol flyers, which will be overall relevant for all residents in Columbia County, not just ones that utilize our station. Our station is specific to only taking certain amount of plastics. From what I understand, these private haulers are suggesting that they take all plastics for recycling. But we are noticing an uptick in really contaminated recycling. This summer has been a little bit higher in contamination rates than in past years. We're finding lots of non-recyclable items being discarded with the recyclings, bathroom garbage, human waste garbage, that kind of thing. Your cans aren't being rinsed, your bottles aren't being emptied. And all of those things contaminate the load, because if they're not clean going in, no one's going to clean them before they go out. Right. So we just kind of need to get a little conversation going. And I thought just some basic flyers, and then I can post them anywhere. I can send them to all the towns, villages. We can post them in libraries and whatever. And it's not specific just to our station. So we're trying to come up with something generic enough that gets people to think about what they're doing as they're recycling. Which leads me to, did you know? Because I like doing this a little tiny bit. The rigid plastics, which are 1s, 2s, and 5s, and those are the only 3 plastics that the Columbia County Solid Waste Department takes. They're the highest recyclable rated plastics, and they're kind of the ones that they're most generic. The milk bottles, your water bottles, your yogurt cups, and all of that. And so the remaining plastics are more like your plastic film, your bags, the single-use plastic utensils, and all of those are not technically recyclable, especially when they're dirty. And so what happens with these is that they go into our, like the material recovery facilities, the MRFs, and they go up on the belt, and the recyclables get contaminated, first of all, but plastic bags start making the belts not work. The caps, if they're not attached to the bottles, will jam and break machinery. People are throwing batteries and liquids in with their recyclables, and then that's causing fires, and it's endangering our workers and harming the environment. So it's just
Education.
an education, yeah. And it's also very interesting, right? You know, you drink a bottle of water and, you know, you're done with it at the end of the day, and people think, oh, I'm going to recycle it, but it's got an inch of water in it. And that's technically not recyclable, even though it's water, because it's contaminated and it's contaminating everything that it's with. So we just have to be a little bit more mindful and keep the conversation open on that.
You know, the single film plastic, between the town of Stuyvesant's Climate Smart Committee and the Kinderhook Library, they're collecting a lot of that at our town hall and the library, I think, and then they turn it in to get benches for it.
It's a very cool, that trust program is really
and I'm telling
interesting.
you, there's a lot of people that are dedicated to bringing, you know, small amounts of clean, you know, plastic and drop it in the box, and volunteers take it away. So it's all volunteer program
Yeah.
at the farm, but
And it's successful because it's small
Yeah,
scale
right.
and people are very invested in wanting to do it.
They are. Yeah.
So when you have a
And they got
20-yard
educated on it, you know,
recycling
so-
container, at a garbage facility, it's really easy to, throw the garbage in with the recycling because they're not as invested.
Yeah.
Because it's the trucks, I mean, that's amazing. You have great benches. I think Kinderhook's had like 5 or 6.
Yeah, we've got 2 in Stuyvesant.
Yeah.
Kinderhook had several in
Mhm.
the village there.
And I'm pretty sure Copake their library might be doing the same thing now. I know you're Hillsdale, but
Same library.
Yeah.
Right.
We share
in the Rojan library, yeah. And so these are our monthlies. And what do we got? Some resolutions. One resolution is declare so this is our old loader, 2014. It's been sitting in the yard for over 2 years now, not operational, so thank you.
Second.
We have a motion and a second, all in favor, and get rid of the old loader.
Aye.
And this is a resolution request authorizing us to renew a current lease agreement with Repeat Business. So we're just going to reuse a machine.
Motion and second, all in favor, on the lease.
And the next one is to enter into a machine that would go in the administrative office.
Move it.
Second.
Motion and a second, all in favor.
Aye.
Something that to read.
Solution.
And this is the amendment for our midi excavator from row tractor to Tracy Road.
Move it.
Move it.
We have a
Second.
motion and a second on the new loader wording.
Aye.
All in favor.
Is that it? Yeah.
All right, any other questions for solid waste?
I will say, I said it in the budget meeting that I did rent a dumpster from County Solid Waste. I was happy with the entire experience.
Okay.
Thank you.
Nice dumpster. The driver worked with where I want it placed. Low size, new
Yep.
dumpster. The only thing is, it was so new, it retained water, so I had to pick it up with the skid steer to make sure it wasn't getting charged for weight.
Right.
But I thought you guys were more than fair on my request for 2-day extension. I think if you had charged me more, I would have paid it without any problems with it. But it
Okay. Well,
was a
thank
great
you.
experience, and I'd recommend that others do so.
Thank you very much.
Another thought I had, Wendy, and going forward, like with the town of Stuyvesant's solid weight or trash day that we do, can you project for us on average how many containers I've used and the tonnage that we've done on the new rates that we're going to have next year,
Absolutely.
so that we can budget for that?
I think you sent that to me already, which is helpful.
Okay.
But let me check, because I'll ask you again.
I'm accepting the new rates. I understand. I'm just putting the budget together, and I thought, I got to look at that. But you'd have a better. Our last one, as you know, was we had a lot more tonnage than normal, and so we're doing a fall one with only 1 trip per person, trying to cut the tonnage down just because I'm over budget. I'm going to be over budget.
Yeah.
But
We'll do
Everybody
like a
wants to do it.
3-year projection.
yeah, right. Just an average of what we've done in tonnage.
We'll just show you like a 3-year
Okay.
side by side and let you know.
It's just a
Yep.
budget number.
I'm looking at the old budget, what should I do with hours, anything?
All of that data is actually in the contract, so I can send you that information if you need it.
I'll just have them pull the contract.
Okay. Yeah, we spelled it right out, just to make it useful.
Whatever, each year, or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah. Okay.
That's, I'll just have.
I actually had a couple come to my last one, they were like apologetic.
Yeah, I
they
don't
didn't have
remember
much to
what
bring.
the-
I'm like, "Well, I know it. So they had me like pull this little chair out of their back seat.
I know.
Good.
I laugh at the difference between some folks that, pull up with, I got one laptop computer or, other people have got, a tandem trailer with,
Okay, you just send it in, if you don't mind.
If there's nothing else for,
Okay.
Just like.
Yep. Okay.
Tell me anything without administrative.
we do have on the agenda, we do have a request from the farmer's market. I did get some questions from Supervisor Skoda that did seem valid that I would like to explore with the county attorney's office on just liability. And More with Brian's office too. I mean, they talk about, needing snow removal done in the winter time, and I didn't want to have to pay our guys overtime to come in, when we're not working, and this is all overtime. So, and this isn't really the city, this is the Hudson Farmers Market is actually asking for this, but, so I think I'd like a motion to table it, to have further discussion with the county attorney's office to explore
Motion to
Brian
table.
Skoda's,
Second.
motion and second, all in favor?
Aye.
If
We will
I may
explore
speak
that.
to this.
Yep.
So they're not there in the winter.
So they are going to be, they want to use the
The church
Parking
across
lot.
the street.
parking lot, but they want to use our parking lot for parking so that they can have the.
The church across the street.
Yeah. So it would be a different use of it. I mean, they've been using it in the summertime when the weather is good and, but if they have to use it during snow season, there's some liability issues and maintenance issues on our behalf that I just want to have the county attorney's office review with them and make sure that we've covered all bases. As Brian's points, I think they were well.
So they're looking at not doing the winter in the Elks.
Right.
Gotcha.
They have ability, and I guess they have the ability to use the church, the old church,
Looking at, they were inspecting it, but it's gonna be difficult for them because for the vendors to move the stuff in, the front steps is high.
Yeah, that's another call I don't know about. They're just asking us for the parking lot use.
I know, but I go to the farmer's market every Saturday.
Okay.
So I'm just surprised that they're doing that.
All right. Is there any questions from the public? No?
Thank you.
Then I'll entertain a motion.
Second.
Motion second, all in favor to adjourn?
I agree, you have that.
Ray, would you have a minute? But I'd like to call the county government committee to order. Just a quick note that we had 10 departments reporting today and an executive session. So when you're reporting, please be considered that. We only have 1 hour to do this. And first up is Board of Elections. That's enough, thank you.
It's gonna be almost that quick. So, the Center for Tech and Civic Life, who we have received grants from in the past, has, offered, we have been invited to Advocacy Day, Project for Election Infrastructure Advocacy in New York City, in Washington DC. It's where we get to speak to our lawmakers and talk to them about, federal funding for elections. If you could apply for, it's kind of like a little grant. If you hadn't budgeted in your budget for more travel or more, conference expenses, and we hadn't. And so I put in for it and they gave us, enough money. Jody and I put in for it. Mara's schedule didn't allow for her to participate at this time. So Jody and I will be, in Washington from 9:28 until 10.
Washington, D.C.
If that is
second
fine
it.
with all.
Have a motion, second, all in favor?
Aye.
Good, thank you, Bob.
Thank you.
Thanks for doing that.
And we can let you know how it goes.
Yep.
Give us a report.
We need that funding too, for the federal government.
9:28 to 10.
Watch how fast I do this.
Okay.
And I were coming from Dutchess County Fair. All we had is the opportunity to get changed with soap to the skin. But this is the only day he and I could get there. This is my son Henry. I wanted to give you an update on matters historical. First off, of course, next year is the big year. We're gearing up for that. In 2026, the first thing we're going to have is the Knox Trail reenactment. Colonel Knox and General Knox brought down a whole bunch of sweetheart, whole bunch of cannon, and that handoff will take place. It starts in the end of 2025 and culminates in 2026. The first 2 weeks of 2026. The handoff between New York and Massachusetts is the 10th of January, and we're trying to have something that we can do outside. Fort Ticonderoga rents out cannon, sledge, oxen, and reenactors. And it's what they do. And so we're trying to get a
Not a lot of
couple.
competition in that either.
It's like, yeah, I think they got the market corner for
Right.
that, yeah.
Putting that out to our.
I don't even want to talk about budgetary stuff.
I think it's a
Why did
sole
you bring
source.
that up? Because I was thinking, how am I going to call up Central Services and say, I got to pay some money for a cannon, to rent a cannon, and 4 guys that are going to drag down this oxen and stuff like that. Well, anyhow, that's what we're trying to do. The handoff is a big thing in Massachusetts. Turn it down. It's Massachusetts. This is a big thing, and much bigger than it's here. Henry, would you turn that down, please? Thank you. So that's what we're doing. So I am coming to the Board of Supervisors meeting in September, but I wanted to give you a heads up first that that's the things that we're working on. We are also doing a book. A number of towns have participated in doing a little background research on what was going on in their town during the Revolutionary War. We hope to have it published go out to publication in September, October. It'll be done in about 30 days thereafter. We're looking at budgetarily 300 copies, about $3,500. The Board of Supervisors already has put some money in the budget, and we're well within that. And then what we would do is hand it out to the libraries, the schools, and the town halls, and the village halls, and the city hall, and then try to sell the rest of the copies. So we're working on that publication. We also are working on some lectures in conjunction with the Daughters of the American Revolution and the Historical Society. I just met this past week on an introductory basis with the folks in Cooperstown at the Fenimore Art Museum. They have extensive background on Native Americans, and we're trying to make sure that we have some explanation of the role of the Native Americans in the American Revolution. And of course, in the parade, Flag Day 2026, big event. We are cultivating and trying to get as many entities to march in it. One of the things I'm going to do in the September Board of Supervisors meeting is encourage every town to have a float.
Cool.
And finally, this fall, I'm trying to have some storytelling down at the Clarkson Chapel for Halloween and for Christmas.
Can the Flag Day event for 2026 be called something more than the Flag Day?
Yeah, in fact, I'm trying to come up with an idea for a banner. Remember, we're going to, well, how are we going to market this? How are we going to brand it? It's not just Flag Day, but it's Columbia County's 250th anniversary celebration, even though it's 3 weeks before the 4th of July.
You could ride the oxen to the front of the parade.
Well, they're going to come to the parade, but I'm thinking we'll put them on a float because that's like a long. What? Let them walk.
Well, and we know that those were very loose boundaries. I mean, Canaan declared 3 weeks ahead of July 4th. So,
It's the 31st annual Flag Day.
Yes.
And that's pretty precious to people to see. That's been consecutive for 31 years. So you can add an addendum to it or something like that, but not take over the whole.
I don't want to take it over. I just want to have some branding for this other event.
I've been trying to be really walk and delicate, be very respectful, and the committee is instructing me, so the chairman of the board is instructing me that we're going to be very respectful, that it's the Flag Day parade, and they're allowing us. So we're not trying to.
But our way in.
I'm not known for that, but.
Change it up a little. So we agree for
Well, with the number of people we have talking about participating, we might have to move to start in Clark.
Listen, I think we need to, expand it. So agree.
It's going to be big.
With that.
Anybody have any questions?
No, thank you.
Out of your hair. Henry's out of your hair. Henry will not be with me at the Board of Supervisors.
Thanks
for coming. Thanks for coming, Henry. Come on, you gotta go. Come on, Henry, we're going.
I just got a quick question, if I may.
Go ahead. Sure.
So July 4th, everyone seems to do a Flag Day, but seeing as this is a special year, would you consider doing July 4th as well?
Well, my pitch, what we talked about at the Board of Supervisors level was, every town can do their own thing on the 4th of July.
Yeah.
We didn't want to interfere. Some towns in the hamlet of Old Chatham, for example, it is legendary what they do with a parade in that little hamlet.
Wow.
And the town of Kinderook has an annual tradition where there's a parade that rotates around to the 3 different communities.
On July 4th.
On July 4th.
Right.
So we didn't want to interfere with that, but we also wanted to do something on the county level.
Great.
So we're trying to respect everybody's July 4th plans and still do something on the county level. And what better than the amount of traffic that comes into Hudson for Flag Day?
Yeah.
Is huge. So that's where we are.
Capitalize.
Thank you.
Those are good capitalize. All right, come on, Henry, we're done. They've had enough of us.
See you, Henry. Thanks for coming.
Henry, say goodbye.
Jim.
Jim.
Jim's their own video, did you know that? You know?
He can stall it.
Alright.
He's in the wrong place when I saw you walked in at the wrong
This
place.
button,
It's gone.
Henry, you stay, Bill, go.
Yeah, yeah.
What? What did he say?
He said Henry is stable and golf.
Bill,
Careful, he might take it.
Yeah, all right.
see you, folks. It's going. Take care. Good to see you. Bye-bye.
Just looking for authorization to adopt a policy on mail use and AIL use within the county. Had a couple instances over years where people either receive or ship a package and it gets lost or misplaced, and then they want county employees to kind of search for it. It's not appropriate, so we just want to codify.
Why would anybody want to receive mail at the county?
Because they don't
Personal
want to
mail.
forge pirates or whatever, they don't want to.
Yeah, packages and.
I'll, what do you look for, a motion?
Yep.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye. Thank you for putting that together.
Thank you.
That's on time.
Okay.
Good afternoon, everyone. Looking for authorization to fill the deputy director's position in the Real Property Tax Service Agency. I met with the point one committee, and it was discussed to have the offering it, provisionally, since I was the only one that showed up to take the deputy's director exam initially. The salary that was discussed was 71,000, 76,000. So it would be advertised provisionally and be open to not only Columbia County residents, but residents of the surrounding county due to a limited interest in the initial exam.
So this is just the authorization to move ahead with
Correct.
the
With the
publication of the
process,
position.
yes.
So I would move that.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
And also seeking authorization to enter into a contract with the town of Copake for data collection services. The agreement will commence at the signing of the contract and will run through the end of July 1st of 2028.
I'll move it. Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Just some other updates for you folks. School bill processing is underway, and this, we have one school left, Ichabod Crane, and then we'll be completely done with school tax bills. I am working on reviewing data collection fees versus expenses to see if their fees need to be adjusted. I've been discussing that with Jim. We'll be meeting with the assessors of the county personally throughout September. And we are in communication with other towns about potential data collection / reval projects, including Chatham, New Lebanon, Canaan, Gallatin, and Livingston. That's all.
Are data collection and parcel verification interchangeable?
Yes.
Okay, because it's used one way here and another way in the agreement.
In the agreement?
Right.
Okay.
So I just, for my key brain, would like to have them used consistently.
Sure. Absolutely. Yeah, so the agreement is what came from the county attorney, so that's
And that uses
that's
data collection,
I'm sorry, the agreement does?
yes. Relating to data collection for the
Okay.
town of.
And
And
I
parcel
use
verification.
parcel verification in up here.
It's okay. I just wanted to make sure. It says, it's in the resolution, I think. Yeah,
Oh, it's in the resolution?
yes.
Okay,
That's why I just want to make sure that it's the same thing.
sure. I can send you a revised resolution if you.
I don't need to write, I just
Okay,
wanted to You know. could put a
Sure.
slash, right, you know, like,
Okay.
because it's both, right?
yeah, no problem. I'll fix that moving forward.
It's,
You
know,
have
I,
done data verification without sales pricing too, so in some communities.
there's a
right?
distinction,
Correct.
right?
Correct. So, correct. This particular agreement with Copake is just for data This is for verification, not for a revow.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
No problem. Thank you, folks.
Human Resources.
So there are some revisions to the county's uniform payroll policy. I just wanted to ask both the tracked version and the perfect, just making sure. I didn't know which one you were pulling up. All right, so just to go through quickly as far as what revisions were done in here and what the justifications for those were. As you go into the policy.
I'm on page 3, is that where the first one is
Under
in red?
procedure.
Under procedures.
Oh, under this policy was just added. Yes, the wording of under this policy was added. Thank you very, very much. On to page 5. Inadvertently, it was brought to my attention that on page 4, under full-time management, and on page 5, that the appendix I was left off, putting that, which are our attorneys in our, where we put that it was A and B, and we put that it was D and E, in order to refer to the classification of the attorneys, I was inadvertently left off. Okay, let's see, the third portion would be, I respectfully call this the Supervisor Holtman clause. This is what she had asked about for consideration for DTO that is earned in the month of December, rather than that being erased on December 31st, that we'd be able to track that DTO, and that the employees that earn DTO in December each year can carry that into and use by January 31st. So that is that provision. And then the last part was conversations with multiple department heads about formalizing flexibility. So if an employee that is classified as a management or an NBU comes in early or stays later, and that time is not classified as DTO, so therefore not approved as DTO, it can be used as flex. Okay. So there's a cap of 2 hours of a week that can be used as flex. Okay.
Just to clarify, so this, somebody could flex their specific day and it wouldn't count as flex time, right? Like if someone had a doctor's appointment, so they ended up working whatever, like 10 to 6, or like with their supervisor's approval, that wouldn't count towards this 2 hour cap.
So
as long as it's within a day.
Right, because flexing is within the hours of operation of the department.
Yeah.
So if the department head, they can flex up to 2 hours a pay week. So like
Right.
you said, if somebody came in an hour late because they had a dentist appointment and then decided they were going to stay an hour that day or one of the other days, they're able to do that.
So that would be.
That's what
that would be recorded.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, because there was always the intention for that to be that, but then when, I got contacted by a couple of department heads that said the system wasn't allowing them to do that. So we wanted to revise the policy.
Oh, like
to
a
be able to
computer
do that.
wouldn't.
Exactly, yes. So we revised it this way, so it's in the policy, and that way she can make Kronos do it.
So that will require an update, a software update.
No, we can just
Once we have the
change the
policy
rule.
adopted,
Yes,
then you-
absolutely.
Oh, so you override code.
Exactly.
Okay, just want to make sure what. the
No,
process
it's fine. And actually, the form, I don't know if that's up there or not, but we do have a form, and I'm sorry, but I'm old school, but I even put all the directions on the back in order for people to do. So, because the policy that was just revised, requires approval, that any of the management or the MBU have to get, approval for that. And we've also added on here for flex, for them to put that on there for the hours, so this way you can ensure that a time manager who's looking at their time card thoroughly knows what the department head or what the MBU employee is referring to.
And then I'm pretty sure it says in the definition of flex, like by county approval. Do we need to be more specific, like by supervisor approval?
Let's see.
Or I think is that plain speak enough that people figure it out?
Flex designated based on an agreement with their employer.
Right. So the employer is like.
Oh, that's just flex time. When it
Right.
talks later on here
Later
about
on,
the
it's
actual
fine.
breakdown of flex, it talks about that must be approved by the department head.
Okay. All right,
Yeah.
thanks.
Yep. No problem. Thank you.
I would make a motion to approve that policy amendment.
You're saying it all? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
And-
Your hard work.
And
Thank
the-
you.
And the hope is that we're gonna get the election commissioners and their deputies sorted out between now and the end of the year.
Yes, that's my understanding.
Before that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're close.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you. MIS.
Yes, we're doing. We're going to be looking to do a training day, for our staff, at Greenport Town Park. We're working with 3 different of our contacts right now with, Homeland Security, CrowdStrike, and Ninja One to come in and do an official cybersecurity training for all our IT staff. And then in the afternoon, I have set up 3 groups of our own staff to come up with a topic of stuff that we do on a day-to-day and kind of go over it with the rest of the staff. Something that other staff don't normally touch, but they want to understand it. So it was kind of like a group building, team building thing. So we're going to do that. I think the date on there.
September 19th.
Yeah, out of my head.
I just wanted to ask why we're using the Greenport Town Hall, not the training center, but.
What's that? Well, we got it for free.
Well,
We're not paying for
that's
it.
fine.
But I would figure it's going to be, it's kind of like a team building activity for outside, kind of everybody.
Hopefully it's a nice day.
Okay, yeah.
Like 0 degrees out.
Right, yeah, all right.
Although I could probably put this.
No, that's fine. I just,
Yeah.
I know that's why we
They don't
did the
want
training
indoors,
center,
they
so we
want
have those
outdoors.
No,
facilities.
what I could do is I could contact them and see if I could put on standby just in case we have bad weather.
Okay.
We can rerun.
And you've always got
Yeah.
chambers too, if you need,
Well, we
as a
can-
backup as well.
You want the playground?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
That would entertain them. That's the team building part of it. Okay.
It's nice to have a free space. It clears your mind.
Right.
Clears your
Right.
mind.
Not a county property.
Right.
Is this an annual training or just this year?
Well, this is my first year, our department ever done it before, so I figured I'd try it out, see how it works out. And
Good for you.
if it's great, we'll do it every year.
Some of the other departments. Here there'll be a whole new set of cybersecurity problems.
So there will be-
Yes.
Yeah, we started the hen house in North Greenport Park.
Their motion?
To approve the training? Sure, I'll make the motion.
Second, it's not a resolution or anything, but just
All in favor?
It's on the record.
I'll let you guys know.
We support training day.
because they're traveling off property.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm not gonna buy.
Come on over.
Get the slides.
Tthanks.
So you press-
I just took that training for NISAC and it's, makes your head start.
Good afternoon, everyone.
All right. So our copy machine we're waiting on the new copy machine.
Woo-hoo.
The old one is delaying printing just for me. It's putting nice
Lines.
normally darker lines on my paperwork, but not Joanne's. So it's
Have Joanne do it.
That's
then.
right. Yeah. So it's a little,
You're on watermark.
Yeah. yeah. So it's on its way out. So hopefully we get that soon. Contract has been submitted. We're just waiting on the new machine. School supplies, we've had a lot of school supplies donated by several people for veterans, kids in need. We have a lot of overflow of clothes at the pantry that we've actually taken to Barnwell, over 9 bags of clothes. People want to donate it. They want it to go to veterans. If we can't use it, then we want to pass it on somewhere. So there's veterans at Barnwell. I don't know I think there's just somebody in the pantry that volunteers has a connection with Barnwell, so that's where it goes for now.
If you need another source, there's also Soldier Own in Pittsfield,
Okay.
2 large housing
Okay.
locations for them. And they're always looking for clothes.
Perfect. We want to pass it on and have it be used. Fruit and produce, we've had local farms donating potatoes and corn, tomatoes, cucumbers, zucchini, squash. Eggplant was just in there this week. Several fresh stuff that we don't normally have, and the veterans love it. We got 4 new volunteers in the food pantry. That's going very well, food pantry. We had a few veterans in crisis. First time I almost had to call 988, but I didn't end up having to, which is good. So that was quite a situation.
Are
That
these
was
mental health or physical problems?
mental health.
Okay.
Yeah.
better, transportation. We are currently working on trying to find a replacement for the bus. We have quotes for, trade-in value. We just had, one of our drivers took pictures of the bus. That would, speedometer, odometer, whatever it is, showing the miles, and then pictures of the inside. Just want to replace it with a transport van, so we have to get rid of that. We want to get rid of the CDL requirement.
Did we talk to Jim about maybe using that for another purpose?
Yes, we have.
And can it be used for another purpose or?
It could be.
So maybe the trade-in value might not be on the table. Just to talk, it needs further coordination.
Right. And who would I?
Well, you should establish a trade.
Talk with Jim.
We could do like a transfer.
Right.
Right, okay,
Because we just lost the bus.
right. Yeah, I know we talked about that last meeting.
But if they establish a trade-in value, wouldn't that be a benefit of just being able to know what it's worth?
And then the last thing, I have my budget. I had to provide copies. I have 2 copies.
I used to just bring enough for everybody. That's okay.
Oh, I didn't know that. Right? I need that nice copy with the lines.
If you just send it to me, I'll send it to everybody, and if they have
That'd
any
be great.
questions, they can reach out to you. Just
Okay.
give me, just give me
Yeah, I can-
one.
okay.
and then-
Is there anything about the budget we should know? Or, I mean, we'll read it through, but
Should I read?
No,
read it?
it's just-
Other than the van, there's no.
Are there any highlights?
yeah, is there anything else you want to?
I'm going to hire a deputy director. I don't know if that, I don't really
That
know
was part
what's
of your
more.
budget, though.
Yeah.
That's been in your budget.
Oh, so stuff
Just
is
really
not,
looking for changes.
Anything new?
I don't think so.
Now's the time to say you want to raise.
I have other options, yes, I have. We've asked, I think, a few more things to go up in the budget than it was last year. Other than that, I don't. Do you want to pass it around or just give it?
Yeah,
to you?
just give it,
Okay.
I'll send it out to everybody.
And
That
then
way they
that is
can
my report.
peruse it at their, and then.
Thanks, appreciate it.
It's only my second time doing the budget, so.
Thank you.
Thank
Do you have
you.
something under personnel services?
No, there's nothing more for that. There's
Okay.
nothing that.
Nothing to report for that. Okay.
That was resolved before.
Then I'll have a question.
What was that?
Does your food pantry accept eggs?
Yes, that's another thing. Eggs, people have been donating, which veterans love.
Nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
And if it's not open they're open 9:30 to 1:30 Monday through Thursday, and then 10 to 1 on Fridays. But if we're upstairs, then we'll open it. So we can put it in the fridge.
So that's interesting. We always do a big fire company breakfast on Labor Day weekend. And we usually have eggs left over, some other fresh food, sometimes fruit and things, so I could bring them to you.
That would be amazing.
Okay. I'll start saving cartons now because we buy them those big boxes.
All right. All right. Perfect,
you.
thank you.
Thanks,
Jill?
Have a good day, everybody.
Same to you.
Mr. Fisher?
Thank you.
Mr. Fisher?
Oh, wow.
Here.
Bench is here, there. Chairman.
Well, as you can see, we did get through Fair Housing Month, and I do thank the board for the annual proclamation. We do put that out at all of our events, and also the landlord tenants rights forum that went well. I wish we would have had a few more people there. I guess we had about a baker's dozen there. We had some really good speakers on some really salient and pertinent topics, and I think that went well. As the focus was really on pretty much the evictions, and also some of the new rules that have come down the pike on we also had some information on this new lead paint registry that might be coming down in November. But Columbia County is not on the list. There's 25 locations that are on the list, but Columbia County is not. Dutchess is and Rensselaer is, and apparently they chose not to include Columbia County, maybe based on maybe some information that they had about lead paint. Maybe it wasn't as bad in Columbia County as other places. The poster contest, that's always a great, I have a good time with that, a lot of fun. We have an album here that we made up of pictures that took place at the reception. And I know we're short on time. I was going to pass that around if anybody wants to look at it. We had 4 districts that did participate in the Fair Housing Poster Contest. And the Hudson Area Library was good enough to display the winning posters down there for actually about 6 weeks. And the Hudson Library did a great job in displaying those posters. Section 8, Brenda actually asked me at a task force meeting on affordable housing if I could come up with some numbers on Section 8 housing, both in Columbia County and Hudson. And these are the numbers that I was able to come up with from some very reliable sources. So as you can see, the waiting period were just
5 years.
really, really bad on those, on the Section 8 applications. There is a moratorium, which is Columbia County is under a moratorium. They're not doing any new funding. Actually, I have good reason to believe that those who are being funded at present are not going to be shortchanged. They will still, landlords will still be receiving what they call their HAP payments, the housing assistance payments. So that looks encouraging, but you can see the times here are really, really bad. Project-based vouchers, they're like Bliss Towers. These project-based vouchers rather, go with the unit rather than the individual. The other Section 8 housing choice vouchers go with the individual and can be used after the first year. They can be used almost anywhere in the United States. So regulatory updates, I have some details on those. The Housing Opportunity through Modernization Act. If you recall, when I reported back, almost a year ago on that, we were talking about an asset limitation of $100,000. That is adjusted annually on the Consumer Price Index. So that is up to now 103,200 actually. So that has gone up. Actually, there are some pros and there are some cons on this Housing Opportunity Modernization Act. The positives are that seniors and those with disabilities have an automatic standard credit against their income or deduction against their income. It was $400. It is now $525, which will be in effect January 2026. Also, there is a hardship exemption for people who are experiencing difficulty, sharp increases in medical bills and so forth, and any other sharp increases in expenses that they might have. They can apply for an exemption, which will help them to keep their share of the payments intact the way they are. The other thing is the negatives actually are, I think, outweigh the positives in this particular act, in that they have done away with the earned income disregard, as they called it. The earned income disregard, people could go out on Section 8 or in public housing, get a job, and then they were that income was disregarded 100% for the first year, then it went to 50% the second year. That has been done away with, so that will be considered immediately in the next, reexamination for, their subsidy. Another thing there is medical expenses. On the medical expenses, it used to be that if you had 3% of your annual household income in medical expenses, they would immediately apply that to your, as an expense against your household income. Now with this new enactment, January 1, 2026, it will be 10%. In other words, you have to reach 10% of your annual income before the deduction is going to be allowed for unreimbursed medical expenses, as they say. The New York lead rental registration program, as I said, we at Columbia County do not have to apply. I put yet after that because we may have to at some time after November when this is enacted. And actually what this means that all the people of residential owners of residential property have to register with the health department and have their properties inspected for lead paint. They go as far as what they call a X-ray fluorescent. They go and that penetrates through the paint to see if there's any lead paint in the thing. And of course, that's all to protect the children, mostly, and pregnant women. They include in that. Children up to 6. Once they get to be 6 years old, this becomes a non-issue with lead paint. I don't know why. I guess they assume maybe the child's development reaches a point where the lead paint is not going to affect them so much.
Also, the children don't have their fingers in their mouth as much.
No,
true.
Yeah, no, right. Yeah.
Probably true. Yeah.
So that age,
Very true. And lead paint has a sweet taste to it, they say,
Yes.
and so it does attract children. And but we don't have to worry about that yet. I was really concerned about that, how the word was going to get out on that, thinking maybe that could go out with tax information or whatever, but we don't have to worry about it this round. So
And it's clear they haven't read our housing study in which it states that we have some of the oldest housing inventory in the country.
the winter moratorium on eviction, I put yes and no. There is no state ban on winter evictions, as there is a bill that is both in the Senate and the Assembly to enact a moratorium, but there is none. But I said possibly yes, or possibly no. Actually, on the no end, both the courts and law enforcement are encouraged to go ahead and use their discretion when it comes to putting someone out in the winter. Courts can delay the hearings or delay, postpone hearings and so forth. And, the sheriff's department can use their judgment as to not put people out, in winter months. With the calls that I received, you can see there's a number of different topics I received calls on, and try to handle them quickly. Yes.
Can I ask you just one question? Is there any data about how long somebody who has been on Section 8 vouchers? Is there a time when they actually are, have?
Well, I could try to get that. You mean You mean, let's say if someone goes on,
Because it
Section
said-
8, how long are they there?
Yeah, it says unfortunately, the average wait is 5 years. There's some people, once you get a Section 8 voucher, are there other people that stay there 15, 20, 25 years?
They're not getting a Section 8 voucher. They're accepting the applications, but they're not getting the voucher. The ones that have
No, I
gotten,
mean-
yeah.
The wait time for the new applicants is because people have been staying on it, the program for.
Oh, so not giving other people an opportunity to
Right.
get in. Yeah, that's a good question because that comes up actually with this Housing Opportunity through Modernization Act. It does, is supposed to make room for new applicants to get into these assistance programs. But they are also re-examined every year. So if they still have the need, they're going to remain on that.
Do they have to reapply every year? Is
It's
that
a renewal.
Right.
Yeah,
That's-
yeah. So they're gonna stay on as long as they have that need once they're on, because they're re-examined, every, at least once a year.
And on the task force, we were looking at this because these numbers doubled in terms of the length of time you're on the wait list during COVID and post-COVID. So it's partially associated with the availability of housing stock and the number, the income gap between what you make and what you can afford to pay.
It allows more people to be eligible.
Exactly.
Yeah. As you can see, there are some people, or some of these vouchers that people have that are unused, and that's because they can't find housing, in the, affordable housing in the, what HUD determines to be the fair market rent. So
And what Bob Gibson's department has been doing is working with them to extend their eligibility requirement, because what was happening is they were being on a list for 2 years and they would lose their eligibility and they would go to the bottom of the list and start all over again. So Bob's been
We
facilitating.
have to move on, sir, because.
Yeah, I just want to mention one more thing. On the, I am encouraging, I think I might have skipped over that, I am encouraging what the housing units, tenants unions, because there are so many problems with certain facilities, particularly one facility out there I'm dealing with many calls, and I encourage that. But once again, people are afraid because of retaliation or harassment. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
So we have a short presentation by Matt and Thea.
Yes.
The libraries.
Yes, thanks for having us. My name is Matt Pavlov. I'm the treasurer of the Columbia County Libraries Association and the director of the Kinderhook Library. And
I'm Thea Scoop. I'm the director of the Clover Tree Library, and I'm the vice chair of the Columbia County Libraries Association.
Thank you very much. So we wanted to start first by saying thank you for continuing to support the Columbia County Library Association. Each year for a number of years, the county has provided us with $70,000, a little more than that in expenses to help us provide a variety of joint programming throughout the county for our residents. And it's gone a really long way, and we are doing some wonderful things with it. We have a wonderful museum pass program. We have a lot of e-resources and digital resources that are being used constantly. And we're seeing that feedback in our patrons. We're seeing a lot more people using the library, getting library cards, a lot of new residents. The library is sort of one of their first stops when they come to Columbia County. And we just wanted to, again, thank you and let you know that the funds you're providing are going to great use and really helping us provide for all residents of the county, even those that don't have a library in there.
No.
So we just wanted to let you know how much we appreciate it, and also to do a very light ask for a little bit of an increase, because we are seeing expenses rise, as I'm sure you are aware. Things are getting more expensive for our libraries, especially our smaller libraries, to continue to run their programs, and we're relying more and more heavily on joint programming through the Columbia County Libraries Association. And so we're asking for an increase of about $10,000 to move it up to 80,000, which would help us provide more of these joint programs and support some of our smaller libraries in the system. As we continue to see more and more people using the library and seeing us as a way to save money in their daily lives, we expect increased usage, which is going to sort of come back to us on individual, at individual library levels. And we're happy to answer any questions you might have. And I always, I'd encourage you to stop by your local library if you haven't recently, and chat with the director there and just sort of listen, see what issues they've been experiencing and what they might have.
Matt, this is a great flyer as far as what you've done the year in review, but can you identify for us at some point in time out of the $70,000 that the county had provided in the past, where does that kind of go?
So
I don't know if you want to list it by program or other.
Well, no, that's great. We have a couple of really important ones. So you can see at the bottom, we do these tech labs, which are, we get outside speakers to come and present. These are all online through Zoom, so people can access it from their homes. And what we see is a lot more people are using their library without actually stepping foot into the library. So they're downloading e-materials, they're attending these online programs, and the funding helps get professionals to come talk to our residents. We're also putting the money toward Newsbank, which is a great online resource to get local news and archives of news stories that are local to Columbia County. And
we also provide small grants to each library to help pay for e-resources, which also helps us offset those costs from people who don't have libraries, who we welcome to use our library. So they can still get library cards at the local library level, and it enables us to provide those services for them.
Is that distributed to different smaller libraries by population or just by a grant of ask, or how do you divvy that up?
We do for that, we do an equal amount, because otherwise we also offset the cost of our electronic services through the Hudson Library System, which that is equated by the library's service population.
Okay.
It's been some time. I know you've asked for additional money recently, but when was the last time we gave you? How long was that number?
I believe it's been flat since about 2019.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking prior to COVID.
Yeah.
Should ask for more. That's my opinion.
Well, so there was a letter that was distributed earlier, and I have a copy of it here if anybody would like to pass it out. We if we were keeping up with the cost of inflation, we would be asking for about 90,000. But I mean, that's for you to consider. 80,000 would go a long way, and that's what we're finding is the more that we're able to work together, when we sort of have a collective bargaining when it comes to offering new resources. For instance, we just subscribed to this new service called Blackstone Audio. It's audiobooks that are available. No library in the system would be able to afford that individually, but as a county, we're able to. And they listen to us more because if we say we have a population of 6,000, they don't really, we're small potatoes. If we say we're serving a population of, the whole county, yeah, exactly, then they are more listening to us.
And anybody in the county can download an audiobook from that to listen to on any of their devices, and library staff helps them do that if they need assistance. And we do help a lot of people. We also do a lot countywide in helping our seniors, no matter where they're from in the county, to access things on the internet, help them make sure they're not getting scammed when we can, and that they're following the right thing. Don't click the link. But anyway,
we have to do that with some non-seniors too.
Yeah, they're getting clever. I got almost a little.
I think 2,000 new card members is an extraordinary number.
We've seen it exponentially increasing, and like I said, I'm expecting to see that number go up by a lot more in the next year or two. Just again, based on people hearing about the library and seeing us as a resource to help offset the costs of their when they're trying to save money.
And I use two libraries, and I know both New Lebanon and Canaan. The museum passes are checked out all the time.
Yeah.
It's
a very popular, and that's wonderful. We were able to get some really nice grant funding for that too. So
thank you so much for what you do.
Appreciate your work, and thank you for listening.
Thank you for your time. Thank you.
Yes.
Before we go into executive session, is there any questions at all from the public? There's only one public here. Please, sir.
Public.
Newspaper. Oh.
I would ask that somebody make a motion to go into.
I'll make a motion to do the executive session.
Sir, for
Contracts and litigation.
Are you coming back after executive session? We're gonna adjourn.
There's no further business, so we're just gonna exit out of the meeting.
We're not gonna vote on anything, right?
Thank you.
Yeah, we have a resolution.
What?
Just love seeing.
There's
young
gonna be a
people
resolution.
Oh, yeah.
associated.
We'll go back to deal with that.
Michael, I was just saying, I love seeing young people associated with the library.
Yeah.
It's feeling hip and,
Yeah, this is a good picture right here.
yeah.
I see that.
Hold on one second.
Okay, we're out of executive session.
So I'm gonna ask for a motion to,
I'll make a motion to sell this to, the second highest bidder.
I'll second it.
Anybody else? Any conversation?
Second that.
We have
motion second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Very good.
Great, thank you very much.
Good to see you, Chris. Keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Do another sale next week, you know?
Motion to end the meeting? So moved, second?
Favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you.
Bravo.